college student Erica is behind one of the biggest era Instagram accounts on the platform. Her page, Blonde Stuck in the 2000s, had 167,000 followers at the time of this interview. Some of her followers include some very famous celebrities, like fashion designer Betsy Johnson, 2000s icon It Girl Paris Hilton, and award-winning actress Elle Fanning. But celebrities aren't the only ones taking notice of Erica's spectacularly put together Instagram page. Huge brands like Nylon Magazine, prominent retail companies like Delia's, and even Cosmopolitan Magazine have taken notice of and love Erica's page, Blonde Stuck in the 2000s. These celebrities and brands have reposted original posts from her page, they've commented on her postings, and some have even reached out to her personally. Blonde Stuck in the 2000s has a unique flair that will leave you nostalgic for a time when the OC was the biggest show on TV, juicy couture tracksuits were everything, and the only way to take a selfie was by flipping your digital camera around and hoping to find the perfect angle. With dreams of eventually becoming a fashion journalist, it won't be long before Erica's love of the fashion industry and the 2000s takes her from Instagram influencer to the next Anna Wintour. Please welcome Erica, aka Blonde Stuck in the 2000s, to the hot seat.
Well, thank you, Erica, so much for being here. I love Blonde Stuck in the 2000s, and I'm excited to have you on the hot seat today.
I'm excited to be here.
So I'm going to jump right into it. What made you make an Instagram account dedicated entirely to the 2000s, and why did you choose Instagram as your platform as opposed to like Twitter, Tumblr, or Pinterest?
So I actually started my Instagram when I was 14, maybe. I'm 19 now, so it's been a long time. So during the time when I started it, my parents were actually getting divorced. For some reason, I sort of dove into like what I liked in my childhood. I think it was because everything from my childhood was sort of being taken away from me. You know, my dad was moving out, my parents weren't going to be together anymore. So I started to like watch stuff again from my childhood. I also started to watch, you know, The Simple Life and Laguna Beach and all that. And that sort of made me want to start Instagram. And I decided Instagram just because I feel like it's I don't want to say like the most modern platform, but I feel like with Tumblr and Twitter, I think it's a little bit harder to grow and have a long lasting platform. Sort of like you don't see people on Twitter doing like, you know, promotional posts. And not to say that I started it to promote anything or anything like that. I never expected to gain a following, but I think it's the fastest growing platform in my opinion. It's the most modern platform we have right now, and with Twitter it's harder to reach people, and I think Instagram you're able to connect with people easier.
What do you think makes the 2000s different from any other decade?
What I think makes it different would be, I think people, well, I always see on Instagram people say like, oh, people cared less in the 2000s. You know, they had less celebrities that had these stylists and wanted to look like perfect and made up all the time. There wasn't this, as much as there is today, like this sort of image you see of celebrities that seems unobtainable. Yeah. I think it was more carefree, you know, and obviously there was a lot of flaws with the 2000s that I always try to like address whenever I'm talking about it or, you know, doing stuff like this. But I think it was a very carefree era. You know, you see people going out and partying and like accidentally flashing the camera and all that. A crazy fun time.
Blonde Stuck in the 2000s has 167,000 followers. How long did you run the account before realizing that it was gaining popularity? And why do you think people are so intrigued by it?
So it took a while, to be honest, to gain a following. Back at least when I made my Instagram, there was a lot less like nostalgia accounts than there are today. Like there's so many today. Like I often will go through like suggested accounts just to follow like other 2000s accounts, and like I see like thousands and thousands that I didn't get to follow yet. Back when I created my account, you know, 5 years ago, there wasn't that many. I think that sort of helped me gain a following because there wasn't sort of that many accounts. So more people, you know, were following the select few that there were. I think people are intrigued by it because people like nostalgia. That's why they do all these sort of revamps of movies or television shows. It's because people enjoy nostalgia. They love seeing things from their childhood. They love seeing things from their teenage years, even if it's somewhat cringy or haunting from their past. They love, they just love to see the celebrities and the TV shows that they loved in their young age or their younger age. They're still young.
I think that's so true, because that's exactly how I feel when I scroll through it. It just reminds me of like those times of like high school, even if it wasn't a great experience.
Yeah.
It's just something that you remember, and it just makes you feel good, like you were saying earlier. You have some very influential followers: Nylon Magazine, fashion brand Delia's, fashion designer Betsy Johnson, and 2000s it girl icon Paris Hilton, who we all love. I know that some of those that I mentioned have commented on, liked, and even reposted posts and memes that you, Erica, have created. Nylon Magazine recently reposted a High School Musical meme that you made about former President Donald Trump's Twitter account being suspended, which was hilarious. Then actress Vanessa Hudgens reposted it. What does it feel like having such influential people and brands follow your page like that?
It's super cool. Every time it happens, I'm like to my mom, "Oh my God, guess who reposted me?" Like I get so excited. Like I know that's silly, but it's really cool. Like it's like I grew up watching Vanessa Hudgens on TV. Like, and to see her reposting my photo, I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, and at one time I had Elle Fanning comment on my photo because she follows me, and also as well, which is super awesome. She's followed me since I first started my account, which is awesome. I've actually DM'd her and stuff. She's so sweet. But it's so cool. Like I can't even process what to say because it's just so cool.
That is cool. And I feel like your page is only going to continue to keep growing, and like things like that are only going to keep happening.
Thank you. I hope so. That would be awesome.
You are not afraid to use your platform to speak your mind on politics. You've been critical of former President Trump. You've supported the Black Lives Matter movement, posted calls to action telling people to email and call lawmakers in regards to the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. You've shared petitions on your platform. You've donated to Black Lives Matter movement and encouraged others to do so as well. You've posted about how to protest safely. You've posted a guide to white privilege to educate people on what it means, and you've supported the Hands Up Act, which would punish cops for shooting unarmed people. You've also posted many times about your support for the LGBTQ plus community. A lot of these things have upset some people who follow your account, and they've harassed you and told you that you have no business being political on your own social media page. What do you say to those critics, and are you afraid of losing followers by posting about politics?
I think that honestly, they need to grow up. Like it's honestly, like people say, it's a privilege to be silent when there's things going on around you that you need to speak up about. And I think these people who want to say don't post about it, why are you posting about politics? This is a page for the 2000s. I followed for 2000s, not politics. It's ridiculous because you have such a privilege to be able to say something like that and sit there and be like, well, this doesn't affect me, so why are you posting about it?
Right.
I'm not afraid of losing followers. I've lost so many followers that at this point that I can't even count for just posting politics. And I've said I make jokes out of it often when I post something political because I'm like, can't wait to lose another 200 followers.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I don't want those people following me. If you're not willing to stand up for, the Black Lives Matter movement or, to realize what Trump has, done in America is wrong or, anything else that I've posted about or talked about before. If you're not willing to realize how wrong that is, then I don't want you following me. I don't want you to be my friend even.
100%. Totally agree. I think it's awesome that you do that. And I think it's awesome that you stand up for something because a lot of people don't. And a lot of people are very concerned about the following only and they kind of cater to it and lose themselves. in the process. I know that you're a huge Gossip Girl fan, so am
Yes.
I. You actually have a Gossip Girl fan account with over 13,000 followers on it. What do you think of the new Gossip Girl reboot that is coming to HBO? How do you think a Gen Z Gossip Girl will contrast with the previous millennial generation Gossip Girl?
So I'm super excited for the new Gossip Girl. I love the cast. I follow them all on Instagram. They're all like gorgeous. I'm obsessed with them. I think it'll work with Generation Z. Chuck Bass hater all the way, like
Yes.
head of the Chuck Bass hate club.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to have as much stuff like that, which today would, like, a character like Chuck Bass would not fly today. Let's just be honest.
Right.
And I think they're going to have more of a conversation about it if there is controversial stuff that they do address, rather than letting Chuck Bass have some sort of redemption arc. What are we doing with that?
I just recently made a video about that, the Chuck Bass, and what a terrible character he was. I felt like they tried to make this bad boy, but they went a little too far with it, and it went into dangerous territory that it was not necessary.
Yeah, especially with it being like for an audience of young girls watching this, teenage girls, like, to think that's okay and have these people, I want to find a Chuck Bass. I'm sure you see those posts everywhere. Where's my Chuck Bass at? I don't know, probably in jail. Like, no.
That is so true. That was hilarious. Hopefully they do take a better approach to it. Oh, you've said that Serena is your favorite character in Gossip Girl, and you've also said that is an unpopular opinion. So why is Serena your favorite character, and why do you think it's unpopular to like her?
So I know a lot of people think she's annoying or boring or she's not a good friend or whatever. I love Serena. I love Blake Lively. She's probably my favorite actress. I love her so much. I think she's adorable. But I think people don't like Serena, and I think it's an unpopular opinion because I think they sort of push this whole like Blair and Chuck thing on us as an audience, and I think people sort of went with that. So if you liked Blair and Chuck were your favorites. And like what I say to people when they say like, oh, Serena was a bad friend or whatever, nobody on the show is a good person. So like that's the whole point of the show. If you're comparing Serena to Blair, they're both not great people. Right. So the argument that she's not a good friend, well, I mean, it's the same thing with every other character. I mean, like arguably the only like good, people who were good people were like Cyrus and Vanya the doorman. Like nobody else was good people, and they were like the smallest parts.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, it's just, you just got to sort of, instead of taking it so that's so seriously, you got to look at it like as a whole and be like, none of these people were good people.
That is so true. My unpopular Gossip Girl opinion is that I loved Blair and Dan together.
Oh yeah, they were super cute. My favorites are actually Dan and Serena, but yes, I love Blair and Dan as well.
I thought it was interesting because they hated each other at first, and I don't know, I thought it was kind of cute when they got together.
Enemies to lovers trope.
Yes, that's so true. Oh my god. When asked to describe yourself as 3 fictional characters in the past, you chose Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, and Jackie Burkhart from That 70s Show. What about these characters resonates with you so much?
So with Elle, I feel like I always sort of get stereotyped as being dumb.
Yeah.
Same with her. I don't know why. I'm open about saying this. I am disabled and I have cerebral palsy. So with how the media portrays people with disabilities and how people add into their comedy routine making fun of people with disabilities, I think that sort of, unfortunately, adds to the stigma behind it, which is why I could be sometimes assumed as not as capable or dumb. But also I think just because I do have a high-pitched voice and I have blonde hair,
right,
that there's the interpretation that I'm dumb. I pride myself on doing well in school, and it's important to me. I'm not Einstein or anything, but I am smart, and I'm proud to say that I'm smart. With Carrie Bradshaw, I know a lot of people find her very irritating, and I don't necessarily agree with her taste in men. Right, I would have gone with Aiden, personally. but I think her love of fashion, and I want to go in a similar career path that she did. I want to be a fashion journalist.
Right.
That sort of, I resonate with her in that sense. And then Jackie Burkhart, I've actually kind of discovered that I'm more of an Eric Foreman.
Oh my gosh.
But with Jackie, I think I sort of relate to her because she has that. I remember she said this thing like, I have a shrill voice. I relate to that. Everybody always talks about my voice for some reason. I relate to her on that. And also I think, she's another person who's sort of perceived as dumb when she isn't dumb. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely identify, I think, more with Eric now.
That's interesting. I was going to say Jackie is really youthful and like hilarious, which I think you are as well.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. It's so funny you said you're an aspiring fashion journalist, because my next question was that I know you're an aspiring fashion journalist. And in the past, Cosmopolitan magazine has actually reposted you. Do you think that you'll work for the brands that are taking notice of you one day?
I would love to. That would be so, like, when Cosmopolitan reposted me, which is my dream job, I ran upstairs. Like I told you, I tell my mom every time this happens. I ran upstairs. My mom was about to go to bed, and I was like, "Oh my God, Cosmopolitan reposted me!" It's. I would love to. If they want to hit me up after this and give me some sort of internship or opportunity, I would die. I would love it. It would be awesome. So hopefully, we'll see. I got 4 more years of college, so.
Yeah, you definitely have time. What 2000s It Girl closet are you rating?
Oh, it's a great question. I love Britney's closet. I think she's versatile. She got her sweatsuits. She got her, her low-waisted jeans, which I don't know if I could rock like her, but fictional character-wise, definitely Elle. I think she has it all together with her, her little latex pink little moment with the little boots. Yeah, definitely Elle, because she just has everything pink that I need. Brittany, of course, as well, because she just has so many like awesome relics from the 2000s in her closet.
Favorite 2000s show and favorite 2000s movie?
Okay. My favorite 2000s show is Gossip Girl and The Office, which I don't post about that much because I don't know if that sort of fits my aesthetic, but I love The Office. It's my favorite show of all time. My favorite movie, I love Bring It On, All or Nothing. That's my quote in my Instagram bio, the Shimmy Shimmy Lip Gloss Barbie. And also, Mean Girls, Legally Blonde, all those, but I would say probably Bring It On, All or Nothing is my favorite.
I love I own all the Bring It On movies, except that worldwide one. That was horrendous.
Yeah, not great. Sort of dwindled down in quality as the years went on.
I know that you love Bill Skarsgård, Pete Davidson, and Bill Hader, but who is your 2000s It Boy ultimate celebrity crush?
Great question. I love Joe Jonas.
Yes.
I love Kid Cudi. I would say those two. I don't know if Kid Cudi's like a 2000s It Boy, but he was releasing music in the 2000s.
Yeah, some music out.
I feel like people consider him more modern just because I don't know why. I feel like he's sort of gained more traction over the years, but his biggest hits are from the 2000s. So
yeah,
I love them both. His music honestly saved my life. So definitely those two.
That's amazing. I think Pete Davidson has said something similar.
Yeah, Pete's actually why I sort of started to listen to Kid Cudi more. I love Pete, and he's had a huge impact on my life as well. So
are you gonna watch the SNL tonight?
Yes, of course. Every Saturday when it's on, I'm watching it.
Oh, what did you think of him and John Krasinski, the kiss they had last week?
It was honestly incredible. I was watching upstairs in my room here, and I screamed.
Oh my gosh!
My family was going to bed, and I was just in shock. I'm like, they wrote this script for me.
Oh my gosh! Okay, we're gonna manifest that you will be a writer for Cosmopolitan magazine, and that you will marry Pete Davidson.
That would be amazing.
Manifesting it right now.
Writing it in a manifestation journal right now.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your account or about yourself or about anything?
To anybody watching this who does follow me, thank you for following me. I really appreciate it. I've gone through many strange posting phases with my, constantly posting Gossip Girl and not posting any other content. And I really appreciate it. I mean, it's super cool just to have grown this sort of, small platform that I do have and get to connect with people, because in my small town that I grew up in Pennsylvania, I didn't have people who, likes the same stuff as me. I was able to connect with them on this sort of like niche interest that I had. And it was super cool to be able to reach people all over the world. I get messages that are like love from Spain, and it's really cool to be able to talk to all these people who enjoy the same stuff as me, and make friends with other 2000s accounts and have them, be some of my closest friends. And hopefully you continue following me for whatever phase I go through next.
We're definitely here for it. I'm excited. I can't wait for the new Gossip Girl to come out, because I know you'll be.
I know, I'm so excited. I'm going to be posting all about it.
Erica, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the hot seat. I really, really appreciate it. And
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I'm so looking forward to seeing more and more of Blonde Second the 2000s amazing content, and the Gossip Girl amazing content, and for your page to grow and to hopefully see you become an amazing big time fashion journalist.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Well, thank you again, Erica. I really appreciate it. And you have a great day.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye.